is up, Chad? How we doing today? How's everyone? And it is time. Put off for a few days. I took a couple of days off. Didn't want to bombard you guys with too much League of Legends content. And then I just kind of like got on a little bit of like sluggish side, right? We all do as creators and stuff like that. So I apologize with that delay, but here we are. We are talking about Arcane. I've seen it all. If you want a non-spoiler review, excuse me, drink a little coffee. It's a masterpiece. It is arguably some of the best animated feature in the past 10 years. Like, I'll be honest, it is just the voice acting is masterful, the animation masterful, the style, like it's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous to look at. It's intense, it's heavy, there's a lot of drama, and the action sequences are some of the just most well shot, just insane looking action sequences I've seen in a long time. Granted, some of the parts it does slow down with some of those action sequences, but man, it still makes up for it with just the story and the characters and the development and stuff like that. But other than that, it's a masterpiece. It is amazing. I just really excited about it. You know, and it's a show that it's not a lot of like, there's not a lot of joy in the show, right? There's not a lot of like, hey, happy. The show's intense, and I should say, and after the end of this season and coming back to that, it looks like it's going to get more intense. But that's it. That's it for the spoiler stuff or non-spoiler stuff. And now I'm going to go talk about it and discuss and so forth like that. But my goodness, man, like, so I guess everything you hear after this gonna be spoilers, right? But what can I say? Like the show was amazing. I'm still not a big fan of Silco. Still not a big fan of Jinx. But the thing is, it's like a Shakespeare tragedy. You can understand, right? And I think that's what's so good about the show, right? I can understand that she's a broken person from a broken system, even more so because, you know, of her, like the mental health and with everything is just, it is tough. And you could see how her sister bears the weight of that all and still, but at the point, you know, like a lot of people are like, dude, she's a lost cause, right? And how much more is that going to continue on to the next season? Like how much more are you going to be like, you know, sis, I love you, but there's a point where you just, you know, where you got to let people go. And I just, to me, I think she's there, but like, talk about that ending though, right? And we're just gonna go straight and talk about the ending. Like there were things that I love. I mean, what's not to love? I was really happy for Heimdinger because like teaming up with Echo and finding a new purpose since he was kind of just like forcefully retired. And that's the part that I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. And I think he's gonna be really happy with someone like Echo, who's always loved science, has always loved tinkering and stuff like that. It's been his thing since he was a very small child. And it's almost like he's a kind of a mirror of of Jinx, I would say, right? Because they were both the same. They both loved little science and to do things and all this so forth like that. And except that he wasn't the one going on the runs, he stayed kind of grounded. And maybe if that would have been Powder, if they would have done that with Jinx, maybe she would have been more rooted or something like that. Maybe they just tried to get her in a little too young, even though V started off when she was young. But like I said, going back, I can understand. I understand where she is. I still don't like Silco, even though he was kind of a loving father at the end. But it was just, I don't know. You can see he was a loving father, but then he had a bunch of kids making drugs and stuff like that. But no, golly, the action sequences. When you see Echo finally do stuff and you see the hoverboard, like, dang, this is amazing. And it was like a good book. It was like a book you're starting to read. You want to get to the end, but you don't want it to end. And I always use that analogy for really good stuff. And it was fantastic, man. Like the love interests in the show. My favorite was from V and the sniper girl. That was like really rooting for them, and I think that was a fantastic way to get that love story. But then, woof, man, it's tough. It's tough. There's not a lot of joy. There's not a lot of time for the characters to be happy in that show. And I'm like, damn, how come they can have an episode where they go on a date and they fall in love? Come on, give me that. No. Hey, you guys are falling for each other? Well, here's my sister. And like that, that's just going to be a big wrench. Like, imagine that. Like, and like, that's the point. Like that, I think that's where show's going to be. At the point, we're going to have to be like, you're going to have to let it go. Right? Like that other movie. And because it's going to cost V her happiness and her purpose and so forth like that, right? She's going to lose her loved one, and you're going to have to she's going to have to decide, and she goes with her sister, she loses that, and then this, woof. But my thing, I think, honestly, I think it's going to be all hell, right? And you could see with Mel's mom coming into there, and how Jinx shoots a rocket right into the freaking council of counselors. It's gonna go crazy. So my prediction is that there's death in the show, but either Victor or Hammerman, the rocket comes in, the arcane magic will save some of them. I believe Mel will get, if she survives, she might be in a coma. If they're just wild, they just might kill her, and the mom just loses it and says, oh hell no, I need these weapons and I need them now, and we're going down there and we're just gonna nuke it. There is no, like, right? I mean, that's how it is in war. That's how she is. And I think it's gonna get heavy, right? And then it's a good show, but god dang, give me some joy. Give me a good episode. Give me an episode where they go to a soda pop store and share a milkshake and with 2 straws and make lovey-dovey eyes or something like that. But golly, man, I just want to see the characters have some joy, especially V, man. V, tough time. Grew up in prison and stuff like that, but what a show. And that's the great thing about this show. I knew nothing about the lore and stuff like that. And there is lore, but it's not like when you play League of Legends that there's a story and stuff. It's kind of like you get the character bios and stuff. I may be wrong. I know there has been some, what is that called? Some RPGs or something like that. But man, what an amazing show. Maybe one day I'll for Christmas I'll get Max to watch it, and that's not gonna happen. I could tell, hey Max, watch that show, and Max will be like, I don't want to watch it. Like, and I'll be like, okay, and there you go. Yeah, maybe one day, chat. But it's a masterpiece. It's so well done. I want to see more Echo. Echo was sick. The fight scene with Echo and Jinx, amazing. I really like where Heimdinger's at right now, right? Because Heimdinger was he was a nice character. He was wise. He knew what was going on. He saw the trouble. He's Yoda. He's basically a more cheerful Yoda. But the dude is smart, and he knew, like, yeah, this is cool, but let's not push this right now. Right now, I think we're cool. Everyone's making money, and he saw what was going to happen, and then getting manipulated. Hammerman getting manipulated to where he's at, and it's a tough situation. It all happened, right? And it all comes down. It's all, at the end of the day, is Jinx. If anyone's fault, it's V for putting her in that life a little too early. She said, hey, hang out with Echo. You guys do a little science stuff, do little inventions and stuff, and do little inventions to help us. That's what you do. They would have done that job. They would have gone through with no explosion, but then at the end of the day, there's no show. But Ryan, look at me and just like, so involved. But if V, but she's a Jinx, and like, kind of is. And it's a great name. But god dang. What a show. I don't know what else to say, but it's a masterpiece. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It helps out the channel immensely. The channel's been growing. So you guys like this League of Legends content, and get Rate the Roster is being done. We're almost finished. We got a couple more videos left, and we'll be done with the roster, and then I have to make my roster. So if you guys like the content, please keep those likes coming because it helps immediately. And what else? Yeah, just catch me on my streams. We could talk more about it and play some fighting games. Oh no, I'll play shooters because I always constantly play shooters. Peace.